Stone. Fantastic. Right where we left off. In my hand. Teach me to buy bowl guitars. Thank you, girl, for broken bones. What are we gonna put in here? What are we gonna put in here? Thanks to the bulls that bucked me up. Hello, Evo. Pink, how you doing? Good to have you back. Let me spin this around so I can see what's going on. Perfect. Grab that. Grab this. Radio. Straight back to where we left off. Hello, Scott. Straight into the room. That's fantastic. Literally have started maybe 20 seconds ago. And g'day, Peter. There we go. So I'm going to put quite a wet first coat on this one. Get it off this easel much faster than you'd expect. So, otherwise we'll keep on moving the paint around. We don't want that. So, quick coat, quick coat. I had a wine buzz last night when I... That's a good photo though, Scott. I like the photo. It's a goodie. I was going to post it on my story, but I've been... I had a few photos loaded up I was going to post up, and that was one of them. I thought I'll just better check with Scott, make sure he's happy for me to post that out there. Hello, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. You spelled that with an I. You have a similar name to a very famous philosopher. There we go. Howdy, Ryan. How you doing? How are you doing? Today we're adding on paint thick to this one. Thick with a bit of transparency. Really giving it to it. That's the plan. But I need to make sure it doesn't go in too transparent, otherwise it starts to split. And that's yuck. All good. It is. It is. But it's so much more than a mask, isn't it? It's character. G'day, Chase. How you doing? Yeah, we're going for a bit of a wild style with it. Gotta keep it wild. And then after a little bit more here, pull it off the easel and swap to one of our other anticipated pictures. You live in France. Hello from France. Good stuff. I've been to France once, and it was lovely. There we go. So you get more aggressive with these colours. to add a little more personality to it. Be careful not to get too close to a paint by numbers feel on the sort of the character. Otherwise, you run the risk of losing the personality that makes the character. A bit more loose with the brush, a bit more loose with the strokes. There we go. Hey, B-Red. I feel like we need an alternative account for trends. Huh. Trends as in, what sort of trends do we end up with? I'm lost. It looks kind of scary, Patty. Yeah, it's got that voodoo-y look to it. It's not a scary thing though, in terms of the character itself. So it's not actually depicting spooky. It's depicting wholesome. But this is probably as close to spooky as I would go. Would be Aku Aku. Only because I can justify it knowing that actually it's a happy-go-lucky subject matter. I don't think Aku Aku even did anything wrong. Someone who's played the game recently can tell me more accurately. There we go. That, grab that Pacific blue. Here we go. It's weird TikTok trends or filters are reacting to crazy videos. TikTok trends or filters are reacting to crazy videos, not following. What does that mean? Guess the darker background didn't help. I'm confused. I'm not following. But anyway, here we go. There we go. This will be the last one we put on. Nice and thick. Have I been to Fiji? I've actually never been to Fiji before. Been all around the show. New Caledonia, Philippines, Laos, Thailand, Singapore, Rarotonga. Never Fiji or Hawaii, actually, on that note. Fiji or Hawaii. How boring of me. Have I ever seen TikTok trends? I've never seen TikTok trends. You have to fill me in. What's a TikTok trend? I assume that's what everyone else is doing on TikTok. I'm just not that clued into TikTok to know that sort of stuff. I need like a newspaper article that comes out every day at 6 AM. It tells me what's fresh and what's new. What should I be keeping my eyes on? How much time to realise this painting? It's an interesting way of putting it. This is the third session, but we're just putting paint on quite thick this time and loosening the whole work up because it was getting a little bit tight, a little bit too caught up in itself and not caught up enough in the joy and fun that a brushstroke can have. So we will loosen it up for fear of removing the point of why we'd even start the picture. Loose, wild brushstrokes is what we want. A lot of them. A lot of them. There we go. You love this one? That's fun. You're good in this lane, in my opinion. Just do those trends if you really know it. When you say really know it, that's going to immediately knock me out because I've got no idea. So what is a trend? What are we talking about? It's over my head. I'm in over my head. There we go. Cool, and that is enough on this. Oh, is it? No, I'm going to get a bit of subtle pink in here. Jamie Wills. Oh, pink. Pink, did you just put a new profile picture up? No, that's a different pink. You're confusing me. You almost got me in for a moment. There we go. There are many trends in TikTok, and every month or week it's ever changing. So many trends. Oh, okay. So there's a whole bunch of different trends. This one here, it's hard to say. 30 sessions. I'm not sure how many sessions need to be spent on it, and I'm not quite sure yet what sort of frame needs to go on it. So it is tough to say. It is tough to say. Yeah, different thing. Alright, let's get a lot of this bright pink. This is what we're after. A lot of bright pink, and let's throw it around here. Really pop off the page with it. Mix it in with that gel so it's nice and flowy. There we go. There we go. Right, where Aku Aku wants it. Just like that. All over here. All over here. And then the other eyebrow here. So really accentuating that pink. It's going to add that voodoo flavour to him as well. Rather than keep him in that, we don't want to keep him in that simple colour palette. We want him to have that wackier feeling to him. And the pink's going to give that, because the pink's not quite a, except for flowers, it's not a natural colour to see embedded onto faces. So, at least not the saturation of pink. So it's going to give him a little bit extra to party with. Let's go in here. There we go. And just in here. Perfect. Coming down here. Now those lips are starting to have their own. They're looking much more like lips now, which is really handy. They didn't before. Close your eyes and listen and it sounds funny. Is that because of my accent? Or do you just hear a whole bunch of there we goes? Something like that. The poppy is popping. That's good. There we go. Fantastic. So this is having good vibes. Giving me a lot of good vibes coming out of this painting. This is what it should feel like. These brush strokes are a lot more wild, fluid. Add it on in a more wacky way. It gives it more character. I think we've done a good job here. I think it lacked a bit of character before, but that little bit of character that it lacked, yeah, it's gained. Yeah, it's been 1 week since we got to see. I'm actually going to put down that pink now. Grab another paint palette. Grab our greens. I'm going to splice the greens into Naples yellow. Here we go. And this is going to make it really poof. There we go. Alright. Clear painting medium. That's what we're after. New paintbrush. Is this one a bit small? It'll work. Here we go. Give us that sort of lime kappa green colour. Whoop. And then you lose your starting image, which is a disaster, because you need that. Hello, Dastroid. It's been a couple of days since I've seen you and Nanny pop by. Absolute pleasure to have you back. Here we go. Get that there. There's some fresh tape that'll hold the picture up beautifully. That's what we're after. That's what we're after. The longest time I've ever spent on a project, 30 years. The project being myself, and I'm still working on it. We're getting there, but it's taking some time. There we go. Around there. Put a line in the eyes, make them pop a little bit more. Might sneak a little bit around them, just some touches. There we go. It's been travelling. That's fun. I'm on early your time. That's exciting. Yeah, I am on a bit early today. And I'm not sure how long we'll be around for, but I wanted to get on here because today's going to be a bit of a hip-hop day. So I wanted to make sure I could actually get out here and share with you guys a few layers before I get caught up in whatever else the day tries to bring me. Here we go. Down here in these teeth, give them some green. Make them pop. Make them pop. Headed down, down, down. Tonight I'ma fight till you see the sunlight. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. And it downs across through here as well. And then in this tooth here too. Fantastic. Vivid and fun. I mean, actually, to a large degree, that is just what it wants to represent. It wants to be vivid, it wants to be fun, it wants to be crazy. It wants to have that crazy element to it, but in a wholesome sort of a way. It does feel a little bit crazy, I'll say that. There we go. Perfect. Start highlighting around that edge there, and then there's one line that comes down through here. There we go. I'm going to pause on there on our nan. Reminds me of a Hawaiian tiki. That's fun. It will have those vibes to it. I see a bit of a Hawaiian tiki. Yeah. Yeah. It's on the right track. But we are going to stop with that one now. Down it comes. I'm going to do a quick layer that I was talking about on, let's lift these out of here, Lincoln. So this can go down here now. Cross that here. Start its drying process. And then up here. Pwah. Now I don't need a guiding image for this one. I know exactly what's going to happen. A very, very good idea for what needs to get done. Right, away with this one, up with this one, this plate here, titanium white, that's what we're after, onto here, a little bit of it. I'm going to mix it, and I'm going to splice it, I will, a little bit, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. And then this brush. Abe is back, but briefly, not for too long, All right. Mix this in here. Ooh-wee. And then after I've done this one, well, it's mainly going to be a little bit of white on these white areas. That's going to really be the be-all end-all of this Abe painting. Get it mixed in fast enough. There we go. Pink, you are in love with the cheekbones of Abe. There is no doubt in that. There we go. Check a bit of this through here. And over the top here. Okay. Keep mixing, keep dropping. There we go. More there, bit on the cheek here, coming down through here. La-di-da-da-doo. Love the popping turquoise, yeah. Turquoise and brilliant magenta play massive roles in this one. So we're not going to lose that either. We'll retain that. JB, welcome to the team, you absolute champion. What an absolute pleasure to have you here. Now, a little bit through here, Not slowly on these last brush strokes, guys, fast, furious. These brush strokes are the ones that will tell you the energy in which the whole painting was made. So the first ones you see when you look at it, and the last ones you put on. A lot of the time we end these paintings with precious brush strokes. And if you do that, you can sort of take away from all the energy you put behind all the other brush strokes. I don't want that. I want chaos. Chaos. Here we go. And letting it hit those textures and really bounce around. There we go. More. Strokes. Oh yes. Oh yes. There we go. Around here. And then down the bottom here. Really give it. Yeah. That's where there's a lot of texture. Just down in there. Around the edges. All the way up there. And then on the collar of his shirt. This part here. Around these edges. Just like that. Down there. Using a lot of white here. White's packing the most punch. There we go. Perfect. Top corner, a little bit more. I have hit all the colours. I have hit all the colours, Victoria. So we're going back with just a few other colours, not outside the 16. Same ones as inside the 16, but just embellishing a few areas that just needed a bit more love. That's what's going on here. Showing age some love. There we go. And he's got it. He's got all he needs. Abraham Lincoln, today you amaze me with a man of your diversity of your work. Abraham Lincoln today. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. I thought you were talking to Abe, like poetically. But thank you. Appreciate that. Right. That was a lot of thick white we put on straight away. I don't know if you can see it all that well. You sort of can. It's hit the texture, so we had those flatter colours there with the pastels. We threw texture gel all over it. I did that privately, and now I've thrown white on top of that, so it catches the textures and plays around a bit. Now, down with Abe, and on to our next one. Put that one there. That one there. Next one up, Cowboys. Here we go. Up we come with this one. About there, I reckon. And this one, same story. Up you come. It's about here. Alright. There we go. We're in the right position. I think we are. That's brilliant. And then we'll wind this down to hold it in place. And we are on our genre piece. This is Cowboys. Alright, yeehaw, that is correct. I think you are on the right track. And to start with, I'm going to kick off into whites. Unusual, but whites. And the reason kicking off with whites is I want to highlight this horse, some money bags and things. It'll dry fast. And then and prioritise the other bits and pieces. Let's put that up there. There we go. Egyptian historical things. I would love to do that. Statues and Egyptian pieces are really fun. And the reason they're fun is they're always done, Egyptian stuff's gold, but it has a bit of a lack of colour. And so it's quite fun to actually come around with it and say, right, let's grab these golds and these matte flat colours and let's go a little bit wild with the palette and see where we can send it. I like that. This one's that earthy, sunny, sandy, western tones. Now let's get this pure white in here. This is pure white. There's no mucking around. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking to it. See it highlighting those bags. Now white is, no one tells you this, but white is as dangerous as black. You would sell a lot of Egyptian pieces. Make me a millionaire, you reckon? They might. I think it's more likely. I think it's exciting that people will be into Egyptian stuff. I'll continue to do a little bit of everything, but maybe one day we'll do that Egyptian piece. Who knows? I see Jay doing some muting. I can't see the comments, Jay, but I'll just assume you're doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much. Here we go. There we are. There we go. I was. Good, good. Yeah. If you're new here, we do try and make a nice PG, wholesome environment. So, which can, as I understand it, or I get told, it's unusual on Twitter. So, but we are here. We're doing it here. We will force Twitter to be wholesome. We'll force wholesome on Twitter. Thanks, Mr. FHD. Appreciate that. Alright. This cowboy down here, we're accentuating a jawline on this cowboy. That's one of the defining features of how it sits. So we'll extend that. There we go. We won't come down. Bet she's been on TV. Who's been on TV? It sounds exciting. I've been on TV once. It's pretty exciting. Thanks, JB. Appreciate you. Very appropriate gift as well, actually. Whoo-wee. Bravo, wow, ci bravo, ci si. Look at the languages in the room today, and it's very exciting. I'm excited for you. The cowboy hat gift is the best one in my opinion. I think it's the most fun. It connects with the character the most, like it really sits on the person. I think it'd be cool if there was some more augmented reality ones. Like if you could buy a gift and it would be like a character that would like Pokemon Go style recognize where the floor is and then like wander around. Like how cool would it be if you could buy a lizard that would then like walk over the painting? Pretty funny. Because it wouldn't bother me, because I can still sit here and see what I'm seeing in reality, but the augmented reality would be like, alright, a little lizard here, or like a snake that coiled over the canvas and things. I don't know. Put me in charge of TikTok's creative team. I'll get some good augmented realities going on. Or like a spider that like walks over the person. Funny stuff like that, you know. Although then you wouldn't be able to warn me when a spider was running over me, because you'd be like, oh, it's just a filter. And actually there's a spider on me and you should help me. My parrot Opal, I was saying you'll be painting a celebrity. Famous people love her. Oh, that's exciting. Typically though, Abraham Lincoln is an exception. We don't normally do a lot of celebrities here. What we typically focus on is, well, a whole range of things. I think it's quite fun doing a face that's not recognised as well, because then rather than putting our predispositions on it like we do with, say, Marilyn Monroe, we build our own opinions on the character as it gets created. He or she was this or that, or a person was like, they had these feelings, they had those feelings. You develop those because you saw it get built layer by layer. I think that's fun. There we go. She's a McGraw, and that's many colours. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. I love you. Right. Horse legs. Bow, bow. Wow, wow, wow. Alright. Okay. Now we're going straight from those colours. Oh, I've got it over here. Can I get it out of there by itself? I think I can. There we go. Into our Naples yellow. The Naples yellow is going to get in here beside those whites. Soften them a little bit. Not completely, but make them not feel like they're so out there on their own. And very shortly, we'll have to tone back from the size of this brush. In fact, probably now, to be fair. That's too big. Where is the brush we're after? It's a fine line between having the right size brush and then being able to apply enough paint. So it's always a balancing exercise. This is this is a bit smaller, but this will work just fine. Yeah, this is a good size. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Pete, but I uploaded a new emoji, and that is it's a bit self-deprecating, but I think it's funny. Here we go. There we go. So we see how it's getting in there beside those whites. Not removing them, but making them more welcome in the picture. There we go. This piece is a commission, and it is for an American, but it's an American that lives in Hawaii, which still counts, obviously. And it's the American, it's not two settlers, so these two are related. These are father and son. And it's funny because context can change a lot about a picture, obviously, but in this picture here's case, calling it two cowboys gives off significant cowboy vibes, but actually the importance of the subject matter is father and son. That's why this picture's come to exist. So it's that classic, what lens do you want to look at it through? Because that'll have a difference on what you see. Let's have a look-see here. So we've got a lovely amount of contrast going on. There's a lot of beauty occurring through here. And then a bit more detail needs to come up into the sky up in this part. The reason it's not there at the moment is we've had the image up there, which has sort of stopped us from being able to really embellish it, but now we're going to fix that, obviously. Oh. Uh-oh. Huh. I love adding Naples yellow into the sky. It gives it that heat feeling. It's like not a hot colour, but against blue, it makes it feel like there's heat in the sky. I love that. Can we see the reference picture? Lisa, that's a good question. Here you go. This is the reference pic here. There's the two cowboys, so I put it there beside it. Wampa. And so I can see from our screen, the colour's pretty close. So we're pretty on spot with our colour palette. Would I be fair in saying that? And one thing that's different between the picture itself and the, am I thinking the right direction? The artwork, is that with the artwork we can accentuate things like fences, barrels, houses, tree lines, not tree lines, mountain lines, and hats and things to make something that's more than the photo. So when I say more than the photo still has a place, and so does the painting, but the photo can be the factual rendition of it, and the painting can accentuate things, so you can actually capture more of an emotional aspect or a likeness aspect. So with this picture here, we're hoping to get some of the feeling, thanks JB, some of the feeling out of the cowboy pic and into a new painting. So facts, feelings, that's the goal. I want to put this in there, but it's actually not quite right. I need to splice it with some red gold. Red gold, here we go. Not a whole lot of it, just a little bit of it, but the colour's just a little bit strong right now. Tone it back. Right, here we go. Fabulous said thank you. You are more than welcome. What a lovely thing to say. There we go. Now it's toned back a bit. There we go. Now see how we're not painting the background and then coming to do the fence. The fence is part of the whole thing. So every block has its own individual borders, touches, moments. Otherwise the fence will stand out awkwardly on the background. But if you look at the fence, it's more part of the landscape. That's what we want. That's what we want. Unbeliever. Alright. A bit more of this through there. Now we're talking. This is the right colour. This is a fun colour. The whole background, yeah. Actually, for this commission, I was talking to this man here about it, Steve, and I said, do you want to have it as a portrait shot so the cowboys are accentuated as number one, or do you want to include the landscape? He didn't even think about it for 10 seconds. He said, I want that landscape. I want to get that cowboy western vibe landscape feeling into the picture. So that's quite fun. I like that. I like that confidence in what you want to. I think that's important. I think we're always attracted to confidence in people who know what they want. I want to go for a walk. I want to paint. I want a bacon and egg McMuffin. There we go. There we go. A little bit there. Give us sick going to rummy a coffee. I'm not following that sentence, but it sounds both funny and exciting. I'm excited for you. The bacon and egg McMuffin, not from McDonald's. What's wrong with McDonald's bacon and egg McMuffin? McDonald's bacon and egg McMuffin is cheap. You knew what you were in for. There was... It's like, don't tell me it didn't look like the picture. You knew what you were in for. When you saw those golden arches, you knew what you were in for. And you willingly showed up. Hello, Sharma. You are here at a reasonable time. I saw a message come through from you too, Sharma, and I hadn't got around to replying, so bear with me. I am going to get back to you, I promise. Did you learn your technique or evolve it naturally? Did you ever paint in a realistic style? What do you mean? This is a perfect photograph. Realistic style. Come on. No, so I developed this style slowly by myself. I did used to paint more realistic. Most people did. And I slowly developed in this direction because of my preference to actually honour the fact that you're using paint. And in today's world, we can use whatever we want. We can use computers, we can use AI and technology to make the painting any way we want to, so why are we still using paint? And the question you'd ask yourself is, if you can do it better with another medium, why do you still use this one? Now, I don't believe you can. And when I say I don't believe you can, I believe paint's quite raw, authentic. It has this connection to us over tens of thousands of years that we just love the idea of making something in a rudimentary fashion. So, I honour the fact that it's paint. I don't try and ever hide in the gradients and the textures and the way it's applied, that it's paint. If you think about someone like Da Vinci, he developed a painting method where he could perfectly hide the fact that he was using paint. You wouldn't be able to see the brush strokes. Now, we don't do that here. I don't do that here. I want to show off with every stroke as much of the fact that it's a brush as possible, because that captures the beauty of the process we're caught in. So, but every day I'm thinking about it differently and more, and considering and wondering if I'm on the right track, and if I'm not on the right track, what the right track would look like, to try and get closer and closer to wherever that right track might be. JB's on the way. See you later, JB. I like to support small Kiwi business. Then, I mean, that's good, Craig. I agree. That being said, I think McDonald's in New Zealand is locally owned. That's like part of their requirement when they sell the McDonald's. But McDonald's is McDonald's. So I think, although McDonald's, as a massive billion-dollar corporation, yes, is clipping the ticket, most of that McMuffin should go into the local community because the owner of that McDonald's lives locally. Do slow dancing in a burning room. Here we go, slicing a bit of blue there. Get that grey. There we go. Hello, Sid from California. Do I have a favourite artist? I do. Very basic on that front. I like Van Gogh. Van Gogh's my favourite. And the style here we're doing is Van Gogh-esque. But, could you call it pure Van Gogh? No, it's not Van Gogh 100%, but there are elements of it which are definitely inspired by Van Gogh. I can't leave to watch your art. Well, you can't leave to watch your art. I know it's with me, but I'm not fully understanding what's been said. There we go. Did you study colour? Yes, and you can read a lot of good books on colour. You can read a lot of good books on colour. There's one called The Secret Lives of Colours. And even if you're not interested in painting, it's a fascinating book in terms of, it'll go into depth of where each colour sort of comes from and why we could envision that it could gain some meaning in how we use it. It's pretty fascinating. It's a gun war predominantly now. You were not the only. That's good. That's good. I do my best to read the comments, but sometimes it's a little bit tough. Golden retriever be a full-time believer. There we go. There's a hoof here. And then a little bit through here. Now we're talking. Just through there. Oh yeah. And that actually straightens off there a little bit. There we go. Yeah, won't believe you. Golden retriever. Thanks, Denny. Omar, we're painting cowboys today. Rootin' tootin' cowboys. We've put down the tiki torch, which was very fun. And now we're painting these guys. The interesting thing about this picture is the level of detail that's inside it in all these aspects. These barrels, these faces, guns, feet, arms. When you talk about paintings costing an arm and a leg, this would be a mammoth undertaking because we've got 4 arms, 4 legs, 8 legs including the horses, 3 faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 barrels, 2 fences, 3 houses, 1 ridgeline, 1 sky and 1 plains, and the ground. But it's okay because with this style, although we're noticing that detail, we are trying to express it all equally rather than grabbing out our tiny little brush and glasses and honing in on it. Colour therapy. When I studied colour therapy, like specifically at like a university campus, not in huge depth, no. But I mean, there's lots of good books on that. I think we all know that red makes you hungry. Pink makes you feel less combative. Yellow, colour of happiness. Green's for nature. Have you ever seen a technique of colours the Mayans have for the structures? Yeah, I've looked a little bit at that. That's pretty fun. They knew what was up. They had a good time. Fascinating going around museums in Mexico, actually. Different, but their work with rock was fascinating because what they used to do is they would make a sculpture and they wouldn't just make the beautiful sculpture to see with a flat bottom. They would actually flip it upside down, carve out the beauty of underneath the sculpture, and then flip it up the right way. So there's a part of these sculptures, as they sit, these giant stone sculptures, where they sit, that you can't see. Imagine in the Western world, thinking we're going to paint something that would never be seen. That would be like to be painting the back of a canvas, and then framing it, and then covering it, and hiding it completely. Both with a layer and against the wall, but that's what they did. And I respect that. they only have suspicions about why they did it. And honestly, I think that's the coolest thing. It's time consuming, but very cool. Tartarians. One thing I know them for is beef tartare. Excellent dish. What about George Seurat and pointism? Yeah, I mean, look, we could talk all day about a million different artists, a million different movements, for a million different reasons. But I think the best place to go is today. Who's connecting? Although Pollocks are still worth a whole lot of money, do you connect with a Pollock? Andy Warhol's world famous. Do you connect with a can of beans? Because you can. And this is still revolutionary, amazing work. But what today, in a world of replication, in a world of duplication, in a world of endless possibilities, of asking a robot for anything you want, what do you connect with? What moves you? Because there's a new answer to that question today than there was 10 years ago. And your answer is your own. You've got to ask that. Before this intention painting, I think girl was bored. Nah, not following, but I'm very excited to read it. I just don't know what it's saying. And then the Ming Dynasty was when China brought in their amazing colours and patterns. China has some amazing artwork, and one of the greatest characteristics of China's art is meticulous. The meticulous nature of it. It's incredible. Couldn't talk about it enough. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah. And we've seen some amazing pictures from out of China and Japan. It always feels like they're actually ahead of us in some way with their art. As if whatever they do, we then find a way to follow. I'm not sure if it's the same today as it was before, but I definitely had those feelings historically. Well, we've got Van Gogh. They've got the crashing wave picture. There we go. This time the subject is cowboy. Is indeed. I think I like the cowboy colours too. I don't think this will be the last cowboy picture we do. This is the last cowboy song. There we go. I think if we do this one again, we just go larger. So where, says Michael, is this commissioned from? What is the style specifically? Right, so, style specifically, do you mean like abstract realism, acrylic impressionism? Because styles this is going to sound so cheesy, but styles can be a bit limiting. A lot of artists are representing themselves through that alone. And it's not good. They'll say, I'm an abstract impressionist, or, blah, blah. And I feel like if that's the deciding trait of an artist, that, I don't know, if you wanted abstract impressionism, ask for a robot. Ask that from a robot now. It'll just give it to you. You don't need to go to a person for abstract impressionism. You can get it from a robot. You can get futurism. You can get postmodernism. You can get anything. It'll just give it to you. So I like to try and combine as many feelings, care, and expression and journey into a painting as possible. And that's what I value the most. If you were to put it into a category, you'd put it into the bucket of modern impressionism, but like, even then, that's sort of just gatekeeping it, because if you gatekeep on the artwork and say, this is the movement it's from, it's like me saying to you that you can't understand this work until you go research that movement, understand that movement, and then you can understand my work. If your work requires that, surely we've missed something artistically, because art's about everyone being able to relate to what you've made, or as many people as possible being able to connect through it, and you've limited that. Sorry, picture behind me, we've got Abraham Lincoln here. This little fella here, can you see that one? Bit of it. We got Abraham Lincoln in the corner, we've got Tiki down there, we've got a waterfall, and we've got a farmer, and that's our current pool of work. And there's also a husky, which is in a different room at the moment. But you have so many different ways that it's cool to watch you change the ways, or the way you. I'm not following, but that's quite exciting. Seb, what are you doing on so early in my day? You are welcome, Jacob. It is good to be here so early in your day. And also, Jacob, you are about to have your subscription expire. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for subscribing originally, because you allow me to be here painting. I appreciate that. The support is phenomenal. Now, what's the next colour going to be? Let's hit it with a bit of pink, guys. Hit it with a bit of pink. Right. Sorry we can't text much in the comments. Yeah, it happens, Michael. And love your work. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. You know what? It's funny though, because I wonder. I was looking at the subscription. Oh, thanks, Jacob, you absolute champion. Good to have you back on board. I was wondering, one thing that subscription offers you is projects based on, it says, what does it say? It says, allow subscribers to pick the topic of the next live. And I look at that and I think, oh, jeepers time's flown. One more week of camp. That is wild. I feel like it was only about a week ago that you were saying that camp had just started, you were 1 week in. Sorry, I was saying that with enough subscribers, we wouldn't have to do commissions. Like, although the commissions are amazing, we could actually get half the week and be like, yo, this subscriber's picking the photo, that subscriber's picking the photo, and paint like that. But we have been incredibly lucky though too, team, that the commissions we've had have been a lot of, like, look at this one. This is fun, right? This is cowboys. This is a wholesome cowboy shot. We've got, we've been doing dogs, we've been doing, surf pictures. We've actually been doing really, really fun, but I'm always fearful that maybe one day we might just do endless baby pictures or kid pictures. I turned down a lot of them, actually, to be honest, guys. I'm like, we don't want to see another, we don't want to see a painting of like a, just endless stationary standing children. I'm like, I let some portraits creep through because there's an interesting aspect to them, but on the whole, I sometimes draw a line. This one here though, this is really fun because not only is it a portrait, it actually is welcoming to everyone. It's saying like, you too can understand why this was painted, why this is important, why it's fun. How was Bali, Ash? It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Bali was fun. I'd go back there in a heartbeat. There we go. These big lines through here. I noticed the other day you never really have the phone close to the canvas. Can we request closer? Yeah, of course you can. What I can do actually, guys, do you a step better. Watch this. A bit like sculpting? It is a bit like sculpting. It is a bit like sculpting. Now, I'm going to bring it closer to it. We can even go close to Abe Lincoln over here too. Here we go. Wee-hee! Right into that eyeball there. So that's that wild sort of crazy style within the paint. Come on out. Whole thing comes together. Now, sorry, over here. So if we zoom on in with these cowboys here, let's have a look at this hill line here. So this whole picture coming out. And then we zoom in here slowly. And you'll start to see all these little individual brush strokes start to show up more. Here's about where you can really make out between the two. Paint's there, but also images there. It's a 50-50 split. And as we come in more and more, you'll start to lose that image in favour of wild paint. About here, we're mainly seeing paint and less image. And if we come in a little bit more, we lose the image altogether and we just see paint. Messy, cascading paint. And we come back out. Woo! There we go. The sound treatment. Did that help? I will go like this though too. Spin that there, put that there. How's that position? Perfect. No, I actually gassed out the studio with some Cokes, and so now I've had to actually vacate for a wee bit. Well, the room degasses itself. So I've been looking at getting a air purifier to actually vent the fumes, but haven't done it yet. So we're working out here instead with these beautiful curtains. I can see the barrels more. Yeah, the barrels actually they certainly pop in this picture. Thanks, Trina. It's a bit more open than before actually, so that's pretty fun. More light, yeah. Light is good. That's why outside slaps, because outside is all that intensity. It's light. We should probably be outside today actually. It's a beautiful sunny day. There we go. Hey Adam. There we go. Whoop, that one went too thin too quick. There we go. Perfect. Where else are we going to go? So that jacket starts to change, become more predominant. And then I want to go back to this Naples rich gold combo. So I'm seeing a lot of give it that Naples yellow again, combine it into our greys, a little bit of clear painting medium. There we go. Thanks, Adam, appreciate you. Alright, alrighty. We've landed that colour perfectly. Now we just need to actually add it in on these little shrubs around here. We didn't recognise them earlier, but that's okay. We're going to recognise them now. There we go. And then across the top there. Thanks, Trina. Is it 5 AM over here? No, it's 9:30. Woo. It's early in the morning. Normally this is Seb's email catch-up time, but we're using it to paint. What am I using to keep looking up to the right? Well, there's a picture up there for starters. That's the most compelling reason to look up there. But I could put the picture above you guys. So like glance over there and look, come back, glance over there and look. But like I'm not sure my hips or my back can handle that. So we don't want to run out of that too fast. Okay. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Washing me right. There we go. Mixing with a bit more of this. Got like a greyish Naples. There we go. Any new travel adventures coming up? I wish. I might be heading somewhere later this month, but undetermined yet, so I'm not going to tell you to get excited. But we will see. We will see. Very fast. Well, it pays so much I'm dropping strokes on it. Hopefully. There we go. There we go. You're welcome, Michael. Fun little experiment to do, eh? Pull that camera right up. There we go. All right. Yeah, I got it once he said it. I'm not following. That's okay. Oh, usually the reference is lower. If the reference was lower, I'd like hunch over like this the whole time. I want to be up. Be up looking at it. And yeah, I always like to have the reference actually slightly higher than the image itself. Keep your eyes up. Don't let yourself hunch over and assume that position. You want to actually have power in the way you're approaching it. Confident stance, confident brushstrokes. What kind of painting do you use? Sean, this is acrylics. Acrylics. Right. Drop that one there. Next color we're going to use is going to be green. Just a bit of green. Not a whole lot. Just some touches. The pigment exists, but not in bulk. Not in bulk. We come back. Thanks, belching Betty. Appreciate that. Are you serious? When you say you're serious, you mean it's a good thing or a bad thing? Sounds like it's a bad thing. I'll have you know I think I'm the perfect size. Love the acrylics. Let's put a little bit through here. The cap. Oh, Michael. It's been tough. Jeepers. 1 second, guys. Thank you. This is exciting.
We're sharing, though. Don't need one of it.
Thank you.
You can have more.
Yeah, brilliant. Coming back. Just eating some mango. Yeah. Oil does take a while to dry. That's the biggest issue with it. That's the biggest issue with it. You can mix things through it, but does it really fix the problem? You mix it through perfectly. And by mixing things in, you're already determining what the viscosity of the paint's going to be. So it's nice to have something a bit more fluid. Hello, Steve. You come at just the right time. We're smashing it with some greens. And then we'll come on back. Those warm colours, but okay, thank you. A few more of those warm colours, but some zing in it is good. Just a little bit of zing. Thanks, Eden. Appreciate that. There we go. There we go. Cardiologist watching you paint the folks in the room. That's fun. As the buzziest places that lives can be, I think it's always pretty fun. Hello to everyone in the waiting room. Oh, was that gynecology? I missed it. Glad to be a part of it, guys. Hope everyone's visit the gynecologist goes well. There we go. Thanks, Belching Betty. Appreciate you. Cardiologist. different career altogether. Hope that goes well for you too. Can you show how your Abe Lincoln turned out? I fell asleep. Yeah, I can show you that. Let me just chuck a bit more green down in here. There we go. Here we go. A little bit more through here. Let me grab Abe Lincoln in just a second. Let me just keep lathering in this green. A bit more here. There's a stroke that comes down through here. There's a bit of fabric that comes down through here that we're slowly capturing. Hello, Hetty, how we doing? Boom, 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 boom. Right. The person who was on the Abe Lincoln stream the other day but missed out the conclusion of it. Here we go. Gonna bring him in big here, guys. Prepare yourselves. Here we go. Woohoo! That's as big as I can get him. There we go. Alright, put it back. Do a little something like this. I love how you use such vibrant colours, bring all the life. Yeah. I love the face structure on that. Yeah. Here's a fun one, that one. It still needs a coat of UV protection, and it still needs to get a frame and things, so it's in the early stages, but it's doing well. It's doing well. Anyway, I'm going to boil the jug. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. Hold your horses. Coming on back. When I pull you around and it looks bad. Alright. What's going to be next? Do we just go for the foolish move of highlighting mouths, eyes, faces with black? Just to make sure that they're there? Of course we don't. That's not what we do here. But what we'll do next is start bringing out the characters. Deep brown is what we need. Deep brown, moving to that pink. Do you know gastro singers used to eat their... No, Sean, that sounds absolutely awful. I'm sorry I even began reading that comment. Probably, you've heard this before, but we should think a little bit before we voice facts. You wonder, is this fact fun, or is this a lot? Alright, now let's go in here and go for some red gold. No, I wanted Nephthol Crimson. That's too red. It's too red, but burnt sienna is too brown. So we're going to combine burnt sienna into our red gold. Is that going to give us the right shade? We're going to need a tiny bit of Mars Black. Teeny tiny bit. It's a very specific colour we're after here. Okay. Mix those together. See if we can get it. Do we get it? Is thread the needle. We've got the right colour. There we go. So, burnt sienna, rich gold, and Mars Black. Spliced together, giving us a leathery brown. This leathery brown is not going to be just used for the leather. It's going to fit into the fence lines, it's going to fit into the landscape, size of the buildings, all the things. Let's see where we can go. Shama, what colours are you going for now? I'd call this one leather brown, but it was spliced. Go home. There we go. There we go. So this brown's going to complement nicely with the pinks. That's the plan here. And you'll notice on these fence lines, the lines don't go the whole way across. They go as far as the colour we're using goes. But you still see a fence. It's interesting. Because overall, even though the hues have flown in all directions, we believe there's a fence there. I like that. I like that. You can. There we go. There we go. Perfect, that face the horse. Starting to take a little bit more context. I'm sorry about a couple of strong... You're all good, Sharma, do your thing. That's encouraged. What we need to do is have a playlist that plays at the same time all over the world, so you can tune into it. And that way we can have like a silent disco where we're talking, but actually, if we want to, we can all tune to the same songs. I'd like that. You're all good. Well, unfortunately I'm not here all day, but that being said, as long as I am here, you are welcome to be here. Here we go. There we go. So this colour won't be doing a huge difference to the actual overall image, but what it is doing is it's softening those pinks into the image, allowing them to seem more welcome in the end product. A little bit more wet with the paint, a little bit of this in there. Batman. Absolute pleasure to have you here, Batman. Appreciate everything you do in Gotham City. I do sell the paintings. I do. This one's not for sale, this is a commission. But if you would like a commission, the link is in the bio. And I would love to look after you. There we go. Doo-doo. Perfect. Adding in a little bit of this brown. Hero. Oh. Wi-Fi playing up a little bit, sorry guys. Alright. Slip a bit of this through here. And it through here. Hello, Karen. Sorry about the buffering, Shana. I don't know why the Wi-Fi does that. Well, I do know why Wi-Fi does it, because it's not working. But when you pay top dollar for Wi-Fi, you hope it'll work, you know what I mean? There we go. And these pants here starts the definition of the creases in them. Only slightly. But a little bit. Alright. Next up is going to be grey. No, I need salmon. I need salmon. It's going to come from Joanne Brilliant and a little bit of white and red. That's the next move. How long have I been painting this piece? We're on about layer 5, but that being said, I think we're on layer 5, but about how many hours? Hard to tell. Hard to tell. It's built mainly on less on one big layer. Big long sessions and lots of little sessions to get that colour built up to come out of it. If you overlay it too much, you'll actually end up with porridge rather than a beautiful layer, a little bit like try and say it 10 times fast. Beautiful layering. Porridge instead of beautiful layering. We want a layering of colour rather than an outcome of porridge. Thanks, DG. Appreciate you. Now, I've definitely threw the needle on this colour too. Because of this painting being a little bit more intricate, we can't just slap on colour after colour and assume it's going to be fine. We do need to get quite specific with the actual colours we get. So I can't just say, right, Joanne Brilliant, and then we'll splice it into a little bit of red and a lot of white to get more of a salmon touch. Otherwise, we won't be able to tell the difference between these characters and the landscape. The more things you've got in it, the more specific your colours need to be to actually make sure we can feel what's going to be felt. Thanks, Jay Smith, you champion. Thank you very much. Got a coffee. What a treat. What an absolute treat. Thanks, Nadia. Appreciate you.
My name's Shelby.
Shelby got the coffee. This is from Shelby. I've been spoiled, guys. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Get you a girl who bring you coffee. Here we go. Now a little bit down here. A little bit down here. Oh no, Jay Smith. What did Nadia say? I thought she said something nice. What was wrong with Nadia? I thought she was being sweet. Didn't she say she loved landscapes? Oh, it wasn't? Ooh. I saw a comment about loving landscapes. Was there another one? Line all the time. There we go. Who was the artist who chopped off their ear? That was Vincent van Gogh. But, let's remember him not for what he did to his ear, but for the fantastic way he captured the beauty of this world. A good example of that is, we remember Mike Tyson a little bit as a man who bit off an ear. But at the same time, remember that actually, he was a really, really good boxer. So, these are the things. Pink, are you here at the moment? You're subtly in the background at the moment. Can you tell me from your perspective, how this colour palette's going. How do you feel? How do you feel? You've had your pink touch in it now, but you've given some very, very, yeah, good, good, good. How do you feel about the colour palette at the moment? Is it popping? I need to get, got the contrast in there. I'm going to smooth it over now. The face, yeah, so the horse's face needs some work, but we haven't hit those correct colours yet. And these two faces, they come into context. I like where your head's at though, yeah. Those are the two areas. Faces. Faces. Thanks, Sabrina. Appreciate that. And Steve, I assume you're still here, or am I stretching at straws? You could have had someone to run off to. Hints of orange could work around the painting. We have got orange on the way. One of the last touches in these fields will be vermilion, which will bring them from warmth to actually western pow and come out at you. It'll add a lot to it. You're here, fantastic. We've got Steve here. That's what I was checking. I like that we're saying that it needs orange though, because that's on the roadmap. But we need to get these underlying greens. We still need to add some blues in. Greens, blues, and magentas. So we've got the magentas and the greens in there, the blues in there, and then we can come back with more shades of brown, aside from the salmon we're already in now. More shades of brown and that orange to actually pull out that last bit of warmth. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you. I think the two most fun gifts that you can give on TikTok, Kiwis and cowboy hats. Which is funny, because this is a Kiwi painting a cowboy pic. Do-do-dum-dum, la-da-dee, la-da-dum-dum. Here we go. Here we go. The sky, just a little bit of that pink. I'm very happy with whatever you paint for us. This is number 4. This is, well, one important thing is, like I say, repeated art is craft, and we want to produce art, so there's got to be unique facets, unique elements to every picture that gets made. So you can actually, each one has its own unique personality, unique characters, unique reason to exist. Without that, we're just looking at a craft. And craft's beautiful, but the artistic element's so important. This one certainly has probably its biggest defining feature to it is the intricacy in the detail. So much more specific with every brushstroke as it slowly pulls itself together. Completely opposite, not opposite, but completely different from the wild, flowing, weird, crazy, vitalistic nature of Mahalo. And hello, Christian. And User. And Alban. This is the right colour. We want to keep going with this one. Bit of this. Here we go. Ha ha. One day. One day. Make sure that stays there. And there we go. Hello, Jenny. Welcome back. I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. Been used up. Oh. Here we go. Beautiful. How are things in New Zealand? I can see that roses. Oh, see, roses are appreciated. And I appreciate you a lot. Thank you very much for being involved. And thank you very much for the gifts. You and everyone else here who gets involved keeps the stream alive, keeps food on my table, and keeps paint in my hands. So, much love to you, see. Why don't we rewrite the stars and the world will be mine? There we go. Sam's like, hey, that sounds good, pal, and I'm in for a rose. Could be ours. Here we go. My daughter is planning to see a college for tour. She's decided to be a high school art teacher. That's fun. Good for her. Have at it. Love to put you on while you paint and I study. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Study away. I'm trying to make any loud banging noises. You just have to put up with the occasional obnoxious laugh. To you, it's not up to me. Hello, Angel. Angel, we talked about this. Chat room's not that full. You just tap that caps lock. You're all good. Hey, Mal, how you doing? Yum. Yum, that's a good coffee by Shelby. Now, how are we looking there? We're looking good. We're looking good. This barrel here is a little bit intense there. Tans. I'm going to combine some Naples and Vermilion into our Sienna Brown. You always remind him of it. Hey, look. I will be the first one to support enthusiasm, that's for sure. There we go. A little bit there. Go into pot. POT. I'm assuming that's university campus. I have trouble overworking areas of my painting, so I think I do random jabs of paint would help. Look, overworking areas of your painting. I think we can get so hung up on the technique side of things. Overwork that. I should underwork that. It's almost like popping a zit, Sam. I think that the solution is that's overworked, and therefore to fix it, I will not overwork the next part. It's like saying, that's a pimple. In order to fix it, I will pop the next pimple. Like, if you're trying to fix pimples, you don't just have to pop them. You need to look at your diet, your exercise, a whole bunch of areas of your life to actually figure out why pimples are developed in the first place. So with your craft, why are you overworking areas? A lot of the time, there's a million different reasons why. A lot of the time, I think it's me learning to let it be. That sometimes with an artist is we're deeply insecure about what other people might think about the art, that we're so confident that no part could ever be correct, and so we strangle parts, trying to overwork it, determined that if we just keep working on it, someone's going to like it, and we end up with porridge, and then this awful wheel starts turning because the porridge gets seen by other people who then don't like it, causing us to overwork things even more. And so maybe, not in terms of overall, but it's a self-image thing. It's a self-image thing in terms of you looking at your art and actually loving it. And so the question isn't around, no, the question, it's not a statement of saying I'm not going to overwork things anymore. It's a statement of saying, how am I going to get to a place where I love my art? Because I can paint, but for some reason I overwork areas because I don't trust myself or love myself enough. How can I change that? And there's a million and one ways to do that. Yeah, a million and one ways. My personal way is I fall down completely on the process. A beautiful process, a loved process, creates a loved result. But that's not the same for everyone. Your answer will be different. Your answer might be anywhere. G'day, two studs. How you doing? Good to have you in the room. Actually, this is fun. Two studs, this is a ranch picture. So it is a delight to have you here. I do know these people. I do. And this is not a typical Western picture. This is a father-son photo. So although it has Western connotations, we also accept that a significant part of this photo is about the connection about a father and a son. Not just about depicting the wild, kooky wild west. We're trying to get a lot in here. Arguably, as far as paintings go, we're being greedy on what we're trying to get out of it. We're trying to both get the wild west and the connection between a father and a son. So, greedy? Yeah, we're being greedy. But that's okay, we'll be a little bit greedy. Anchor me, middle of your deep blue sea. Anchor me. Welcome to the team, Jenny. Also, guys, added a new perk for subscribers, which is pretty fun. The new perk is, it's funny, it is 10% off prints. So, I'll rotate the code, but if you are looking at buying a print, just DM me and ask me for the code. I'm not sure about how to make it just give it to you. Or that's what I'll do, I'll post the monthly code on the Discord. Now I'm talking. Aha! Well done, Logan. Wait, two studs, when I see you pop on, Logan, it's Logan, right? It's, so I want to say Logan rather than just two studs ranch every time, but I'm talking to Logan. or like, give me the scoop of like, yeah, always Logan. Yeah, I had a feeling. I was like, Logan does the social medias, so surely I'm yakking with Logan. But, that's phenomenal. Thanks, Sherman. Appreciate you. And what's exciting is we were here yarning maybe a month ago about the possibility of maybe one day getting some originals for sale. I've caught up. I'm going to get some originals up on the website. And I'm really excited about that because we have not had originals available for a year and a half. And so it'll just be quite cool to do that. And if you missed the yarn before, I was telling Victoria and Pink about it. I think the chat room was pretty empty at the time, but I was looking at getting a gallery set up, and you are all invited. And you'd be like, well, I live in California, how am I invited? Or I live in the Philippines, how am I invited? Great question, you're still invited. And the way you're invited, you're as invited as much as anyone else on the face of the planet, because it's a virtual gallery. So you can go into it and wander around. And I reckon that's really cool. So I'm building it at the moment. I'm hanging the virtual art on the walls at the moment. Hello, Pablo. Hello, Victoria. Victoria, I don't want to get out meant about 5 days ago. And hello, Larissa. Yeah, it's fun. You're in there too, Studs. You're in there, you're in the gallery. I'm just still working out the finer details around the sections. Count me in and I can help you. I appreciate that. The gallery in its virtual form, I'm just working out the sections. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do portraiture. Here's the ideas. You can do animals, portraiture, genre, landscapes, and it can be categorized like this, but the problem is these pictures aren't structured like that. We never did a picture because it's a landscape or a portrait. They were that, but they weren't made for that purpose. And so I'm thinking actually maybe the corners of the gallery are like vitality, happiness, love. Like, for example, happiness and love would have things like Cassie's joy in there. Vitality would have things like mahalo. Wild would have things like hope, the goat. And like, you could have these categories of wild and primal, joy and happiness, vitality and life, and we could split the paintings quite clearly, almost better, into those categories. And so that's why we're. Your voice was. It's because I was excited and I was trying to declare what I was talking about. My voice sits naturally about here. This is where I like to speak. And then if I get too excited, it'll drop as I try to intensify what I'm saying. But here's natural. I can't tell if people in the comment sections can see the picture in the background if they're trying to give me a fright. It's one of the two. There we go. Oh, exciting news, guys. I got back into my Discord. So, expect a lot more behind the scenes stuff to start appearing on Discord. I'm excited. It's less polished than what you find on social media as well. It's going to be much more, not that I'm polishing anyone on social media, but much more just relaxed in terms of what gets shown. Not in that way. Think like me having a coffee in the morning sort of stuff. I was going as it's late, it's my time, will be like tomorrow, what we'd be working on. Cowboy pick. So this one here will dry, we'll work on that tomorrow, maybe sometime in Abraham Lincoln, and we're going to bring back the waterfall picture. So waterfalls and cowboys, which I think I just named the stream as well. That's a cool name for the stream. Waterfalls and cowboys. I did like bandicoots and cowboys, to be fair though. Thought that was fun. And also, now that we've got a community of about 23, 22 subscribers, I really want to start building out Discord as something where we can actually do something quite special on, but I'm not sure what to do. So behind the scenes stuff, obviously, but it's not just about me showing you my morning coffee and yarning about the struggles and trials and tribulations I'm facing as an artist, but actually it's about a community of people who share similar thoughts and similar feelings, and so that's going to be something that we have to think about, because as much as you being a part of a community that you're welcome in, I want to feed off the community and hear your inspiration ideas and who you are as people, because that's going to actually, whatever you saw in my process that brought you to me is the same sort of thing that I can find from who you are to take me to the next level. So that's that symbiotic relationship. Andy Warhol was big on that, actually. Andy Warhol, he would surround himself with people that he felt like had their finger on the same pulse that he was pursuing. And through that, he stayed on the pulse of modern art. Andy Warhol was he played art like a board game. He was tactical, clever. A lot of his paintings and works he did was to not upset people, but play the art world. He's a smart guy. We're not here to play the art world. We're here to make things that connect with people authentically in a real way. He isn't right for you. He was frantic. Yeah. All right. Well, let's leave out political genres. Let's not turn the Discord into a political forum. But I do like I like the attitude he had towards painting and not painting, in art, in terms of going, right, I know that in this exhibition, in this gallery, a soup can is going to really send some art critics in a spiral. Someone find me a Campbell soup can, I'm going to reproduce that 25 times. These are not the regular trousers I wear. We're in a relaxed fix, we're doing some relaxed painting today. But these are hiking trousers. Said for president, I would be no good at it. I'd be no good. I'd be terrible. You'd be so exasperated, like, how did you not know about that? We told you yesterday, but I didn't read the notes. You'd be like, and I'd be like on stage there, people yelled at me, I'd be like promising things. Yeah, to get up the next day and be like, I didn't mean a lot of that stuff. Sarah, how many plates do I go through? Fair few. I go through... I went through about 12 yesterday, and then I left them in the sink to soak, and then Shelby got upset at me because I had them in the sink all day, which is totally fair enough, because the sink's quite a useful part of the kitchen, which I had tied up. But typically, you want to go through more plates rather than less. As soon as the plate's not good for you, as soon as the paint starts drying on it, swap the plate, swap the plate. You can soak it, it'll come right almost immediately, but you can't use paint when its viscosity has fallen off the mat. Don't do it. You'll ruin your artwork. Okay. So, if this painting had a brother, its picture, in terms of distance with it, would be our wedding photo previously. I'm going to show you why in the brushstrokes. Thanks, Roger. Do you think artists should focus on one art style or should do more styles? I think, Batman, when it comes to art and styles, think about like fashion. Would we ever chuck on one style of fashion and be like, I wear dark suits, that's all I do? Get a range of clothes. And I'm not saying you have to do that. If you just want to wear suits, just wear suits. But stop trying to identify artists with their style. Because this is the art world. This is galleries and curators and historians trying to make them fit into buckets so they can better understand what you're doing. I get it, I love that, but if you're an artist and you're trying to express yourself, connecting yourself to a style is only shackling yourself to something. Maybe you like the shackles. I say throw them off. I use a reference picture. That's enough of a shackle for me. I don't need an art movement that says I should paint like this. Please no, please no. Let me put a brush stroke wherever I want to put it and let myself go wild in the canvas. And if it looks like that style, cool. But our intentions were vitality and joy. And we ended up correlated with that style, but it wasn't causally connected. Perfect, we are complex beings. It is true. This is important as well. And Seldy, you're about to lose your subscription benefits. But, not that there's a whole lot of benefits at the moment, but we'll say this. Thank you so much for subscribing. You absolute legend. Thanks for the support. But while I start getting Discord going, then we're going to be all on. Hello, Jason. How you doing? Now, hold on. I was going to zoom in here on this work. Let me bring you around here. So let me show you, zooming in right here where the guts of the horse are, where we'll look at the cloth as it starts to come into fruition. So here we go. We're going to come in nice and slowly so you can watch it come into context bit by bit. Painting starts to blur. We start to see more lashes of colour. At about here, we really see those colours pop. We see that vermilion, we see that magenta, we see those darker reds, and those whites and blacks really stand out. The early showings of where the saddle's going to be, and this cloth here, it just turns into wild, loose brush strokes. Look at that green really popping off the page there. So that's up close. Wild. And we come on back. Pow. There's our boys. This place up here, I'm going to show you my favourite piece. Up here at the moment, this little line across here, this nature's perfect. So up in this corner here, what that house looks like, that is everything we ever want in every way we paint. That is exactly what that little shack looks like, with a slight implication of the hillside it's on, blurred into the landscape there. Important, but not really. And coming across here, the landscape slowly getting dotted with colours. Those beautiful mountains nestled behind the sky in the landscape. Normally they'd stand on top, but in this case, it's funny actually up here, if you look at this child, the guns he's holding are currently underlain with green, and so the green they're underlaid with, it's hilarious because it looks like alien rifles, but look, we'll get the proper colours in there as we go. But at the moment, it's pretty fun. Anyway, coming on back, there we go. Come to there we go, that's perfect. Is that the right spot? That's the right spot. Yeah, lots of colours. Lots of colours. That's what we're up to. I've heard it referred to as a kaleidoscope of colours, which is a fantastic way to describe it. Yeah. It's... Thanks, NFL. Thanks for joining the team. Total brilliance. Colours are looking... Yeah, they're coming together. Of gun. Yeah. They should feel like it, little gun patches. And Nova, welcome to the team. Thank you so much for joining. Love you to bits, and I appreciate every bit of the support. You absolute legend. Steve, that means Nova likes what your painting looks like up close. This is good. But the way we add the colour with the brush, and we put the mediums through it, especially with the work Duck Dive, thanks Kristen, with Duck Dive, you would have noticed in the texture we added, it almost felt like, if you ever saw that song by Lionel Richie, the one, hello, is it me you're looking for? Whatever the song was, she was applying clay to her face with little tack moments. Jason, you're an absolute champion, Jason. Now, Jason, I know you just subscribed, and I'm your biggest fan right now, but I am waiting on a photo from you. Thanks, Anselmi, and hello, Zeekman. Hello, Annabelle. So sorry, tacks of clay, one at a time. And so these brush strokes, especially when you get into these smaller brushes with that thicker viscosity of paint, it'll feel like, exactly like Pink's saying, bits of gum. One after the other in all these wild colours. And the fun behind that is when you come on the angle, you'll see all those little tacks and textures. And that's part of what we've talked about in terms of not hiding the fact that this is a painting. We're embellishing that. We're using paint. We're using paint brushes. We're working on a 2D surface. Every element of that wants to be accentuated. Because nowadays, like I was saying earlier today, we had the choice. We could avoid it. And Jason, welcome to the team. I don't fully understand what the team is yet, but we're 159 members strong. And we are good to go. You're all good, Nova. Absolute pleasure to have you back here. And hello, Jessica. Are you an angel? No. No, I'm a Kiwi man in a second-hand shirt covered in paint. Cheers, Jason. Technically, we're doing art teaching, a little bit. But, Jason, when you're a kid, it's really good to go to art lessons, absolutely, because you're going to have fun in that environment and learn how to love art. And sometimes you don't have the house in order to splatter paint everywhere, and so it's really good to go to a place where you can be messy. But as an adult, you can get a lot of those lessons about how to use paint off YouTube. What you can't learn how to do is how to behave like a kid, how to feel joy, how to actually, why to paint. So, you know what, if we can do one thing here, let's teach you why to paint. Let's show you how to be happy. Let's show you that actually, who cares about all the gatekeepers in the art world about how you should make a painting, how you shouldn't touch a painting if you're not, if you didn't grow up painting. You know, it's one of the things that you get asked if you are an artist is how long you've been painting for, what kind of painter you are. These are the classic questions. We're trying to put people in buckets and box them in. And what it does too is if you've never painted before, it literally puts a barrier between you and starting painting. A lot of people come to me and ask, how do I get started painting? As if it's like, it'd be like someone coming to you and asking, how do I start singing or dancing? It's like, just sing in the shower. Just dance when you feel like it. And yet we feel like with painting, we're not allowed to do it. Even if we were never going to show someone the painting, even if we were never going to present it, we just wanted to do it. We feel like we're not allowed to buy some paint and a canvas and just paint alone in our room. We wouldn't be, like, that's how entrenched that psychology can be sometimes. Sorry, hello to Cape Town. Lovely to have you here, South Africa. And drama and art, Jason, we are two birds of the same feather. I did last year of high school, drama, English, painting, drama, and sculpture. Stevie is going to have an addition to his house to display all the paint. Yes, indeed. That's going to be... That is a thing. That is a thing. Is it happening in Phuket or Hawaii? It is Saturday here. So it's Saturday, it's a great day. The sun's shining, but I'm inside, sorry guys. I was going to go outside, but then I thought I'd get all the stuff, pack it up, charge off. The biggest barrier to that was I didn't plug in anything the night before, so all my batteries were dead. And so I thought, don't charge off into nature. Sit down here, everything's plugged in, paint here, get it done. Cornwall, UK. That's where my ancestors came from. We used to own a tin mine in Cornwall, but we ran out of tin, went broke, and moved to New Zealand about 7 generations ago. Yeah. Some in Maui house and a Thailand house, like your tumblers. Happy days. And then, hello Ryan, it's going good. Batteries were dead. Sorry, so I've got a iPad, a phone, and then like this little tablet that I speak on here. But if the tablet was dead, so that needed plugging in. The phone is charging, and the iPad is plugged in, but charging. So it was niggly, is all I'm saying. It was niggly. But I have got myself a power bank now. So with the power bank, I can now plug it into things and charge on the road. I don't know, but wherever a tin mine is, New Zealand accents are robot accents. Not that there's anything wrong with a robot. In fact, I reckon in our lifetimes, I think we're already hearing about it a little bit, but expect to hear more about robot rights, I reckon. Like, imagine if there was protocol that you had to go through when you threw away your iPhone because you didn't want to give Siri withdrawals. And just like we take a very dim view on things like neglected pets, in the same way if someone just throws away their iPhone and replaces it, people will be like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. I'm not sure where in Cornwall, but it was Cornwall. And in the next few days, I thought it would be here already, I'm still waiting, but in the next few days, our kimono robes and leggings should be here. So that will be fun. And I wanted to put some discount codes on the Discord as well. So that if you're on the Discord, you can get it at a good price. I think that's fun. But watch this space. Cheers, Steve. Steve's a tumbler coming my way, which is pretty fun. Mm-hmm. There we go, mix that in there, thicken it up. Some amazing sights in Cornwall. You paint some amazing works. I've never been to Cornwall personally. It was about 8 generations ago that my family was from there. Time flies. It was John Gower who arrived in New Zealand. John Gower on the good ship Bolton. It was called the good ship because a third of the ships didn't make it. And he was a farmer. And then for the next preceding 4 or 5 generations, my family were farmers, until a black sheep came along who said, I'm going to be an artist. That was me. I was the black sheep. Cape Town. Shelby and I have been talking about visiting Cape Town. Are you working on anything different at the moment? Classes, outdoor paintings? Yes. All these paintings should be outdoor paintings. We've just had a hard time with the rain in the last week or two. We should be outside today, but like I was saying, the struggles are real. The struggle is real, so we're inside, but we should be outside. All paintings from me should be outdoor paintings inherently, because when it comes to painting, the fumes and things like that, and actually being outside in the sun, the lighting conditions, and the lack of a control that you get from being outside, relinquishing the control of the elements has a refreshing effect on the artwork itself. So, in terms of outdoor paintings, all of them should be. All of them. I've never made a good painting by being tucked away inside the whole time. And that's one of the things actually, when we started this painting, if you remember back to the reel, when I started this one, cheers user. I'm not sure I'll be able to find you just after using the search term user. The Auckland weather has been shocking. Yeah, Lisa, you know it's real. I was going to say, that's why when we started this picture, if you've been around for it, I was like, right, even though the weather is horrendous, we can't start a picture of the Wild West without going into a wild environment. So we went out, I had Shelby with me to help with filming because I could not do a tripod. The wind was so aggressive, I couldn't use a tripod. And we went out into in the middle of this wild, windy dock. We went down there with this board ready to go. I had to tape the board to a post so it didn't go flying off. And then in this windy, cold, wild environment, I began this painting. And because of that environment, because of those conditions, this painting began not in the West, not in the actual Wild West, but under wild conditions. So underlying this artwork, no matter where we take it, is this underlying wild. I want that, I need that. So big fan of that. You do select pretty good reference pictures. Actually, I think what happens a lot of the time, Pink, is that people watch this stream, they see how the artwork gets made, they see where I excel and where my weaknesses are, and they come to me with good reference pictures. A lot of the time, if you're purchasing a piece of artwork and you come to me, you already know in your mind, your style would do this incredibly. I have to see this in the way you paint. And so I get to feed off someone else's inspiration and build a picture from it. I can't take credit, I think. I have very little to do with it. I do turn down a lot of commissions because I think that actually, no, we're not quite threading the needle there. That's not my style, I can't help. But from the ones we do take, I think yes, we're on the right track. Sights and sounds of South Africa, breathtaking. Yes, South Africa coast, beautiful. This time last year I was doing solo self-dive. Alright. I was with someone who was doing I was with a friend who was doing a dive in Bali while I was over there painting that board. Anyway, they got COVID and struggled a wee bit to do the dive, obviously. Oh, it wasn't COVID, I think they got checked and it wasn't COVID, but they had a lethal flu. How can you paint and engage with viewers at the same time? Well, I'll tell you how. If this is your first time here, you'll know that I'm very prone to losing my trail of thought. And I'll also say some stuff that makes very little sense. But that's because when it comes to prioritizing something, I'll end up prioritizing the painting, and my verbal nonsense will be the first toll that gets taken. In a good way, though. Off to grab some brekkie. Jason, catch you later. See you in the near future. I'm sure I will. No, I don't, Roger. I keep it nice and tidy. And new painting I see? Yes indeed. True, but I disagree with the last bit. Now I have to remember what I was saying, Pink. But I like that you disagree. I like that. You've been here long enough, Pink. I appreciate the disagreement. I welcome the conflict. I welcome it. Sunday afternoon. Tune at the ball. You prove your point in forgetting what you've said. Yeah. See. I'm nothing if not honest. Okay, depth of colour is growing. Lazy Sunday afternoon. Oh no, Pete, don't get me wrong. I think I make sense. But we've all been here where I've been talking, trailed off, silence, painting, trail of thought, gone. Because at the end of the day, in amongst the talking, it's good to also keep that painting front and centre. Focus on that result. Imagine if for the commission you're like, look, it didn't quite come together for me because I was talking a lot, got distracted, and no, it's no good. It's no good. The talking can also help keep you in the flow state. You can talk about what you're doing and get clarity about what you're supposed to be doing to understand better what the painting is trying to become. Jeffreys Bay. I'll tell you what, Steve, I need to get the hang of surfing in Auckland before I get too excited about running off to Jeffreys Bay. I've got a new surfboard. A possibility of a new surfboard, I should say. Been talking to someone about it. It's not with me yet. And don't forget the garden route. Map of Africa paragliding. There's so many fun things to do in this world, guys. This world is full of things. Sounds cheesy to say it, but man alive. Get out there and live. It's rich for me to say that too, being that I am inside at the moment painting, but look, get out there and live. Alright, moving into those slightly more pastel colours. This is what we're after. Drove on a route, loved it so much, Kruger Park, yeah. Good country. I've never been to Africa at all. Shelby's been. I've never been. There we go. On that lid there. South Africa. Tamanamana, tamanamana, tamanamana. It's time for Africa. I wanted to use that in a lot of reels, guys, but I've resisted because I know the right time is inbound. Hasn't come yet, but it's coming. One day soon. One day soon. There we go. You love that song, yeah. It's a good one. It's a goodie. Tamanamana, tamonamo, tamanamana, It's time for Africa. There we go. And around this barrel here. Again down here on this horse head. Beautiful. Beautiful. Get over here. Brazil. Hello, Chris. Welcome back. Welcome back. There we go. There we go. Button here. Philippines, welcome. Whenever you visited, yeah, I imagine they did. It's coming together, Steve. It's coming together. The colours are fantastic. It's everything we wanted from the colour palette. We're not there yet. We're not there. We step back and have a look-see. The detail's about right. I'm loving the certain colours popping off it. I'm loving the landscape here. I'm loving how the individuals in the picture aren't taking precedent over the landscape, that you don't feel like there's a person horse jumping off a neglected landscape. I feel like everything has equal importance. Check in later when you've really had time to really focus on the piece. This painting is far from complete. Chris, he's a hard customer, that Chris fella. But at the end of the day too, with the this corner here, I want to put some love up here. Love up here is important. And the reason love up here is important is we've done a lot of effort down here in the body of the piece. The sky is beautiful flow, but there's this movement in the sky charging up on a 30-degree angle in this direction. And although there's a few cut lines doing that, they're a little bit too extreme. It needs to be more softer and flat in the sky, but also with that movement. So we'll build that into it. Yeah. One day we'll paint a piece that Chris will think, that's great, because we did the piece, the Abraham Lincoln piece, and he didn't like that. And he didn't like the Tiki piece, and then he didn't like the waterfall. And I'm wondering if you don't like anything I make, why do you keep coming back? I'll give you a list of recommendations of other artists. It reminds me of Calgary Stampede. Fantastic, see. Rodeo. That is a great name. That is a great name. Rodeo. Reminds me of that country song, Little Red Rodeo, singing about a car. How fast can I go? I gotta catch that little red rodeo. If you are watching this and you're an artist too, guys, one thing I will say as well, the temptation to take commissions when you're starting out is huge, overwhelming in fact. It's addictive. And the issue you'll face when you take those early commissions is you'll take anything because you'll think you need anything. More important, the commissions you take are the ones you don't take. And people will try and put your art style, especially when you start, into shoeboxes in early commissions. And you've got a responsibility to think, no, this is what I do, and pursue that. This is the sort of commission style I love to do. This is beautiful. This matches me to a T. This is my style. Now, if I wasn't doing this, hundreds of people will see this commission and be like, okay, that's Seb's style, if I was doing something else. But when people see this, they think, okay, he does genre pieces, portraits, icons, and in general landscapes and things in this sort of style. I love that. But as an artist, if you feel like you can't thread the needle on a particular portrait with your style, or a commission with your style, have a list of artists, of friends, of colleagues that fill in the gaps that you don't land on. For me, I know some digital artists who do characters and things like that at lower rates, lower cost and things. And so they make digital characters, and that removes shipping and things like that as well. That's why it's cheaper. And when someone says, I'd love to have my children painted, and here's my budget, sometimes the budget won't work. And sometimes I think, no, my style won't work for that. And so, thanks, me and your destiny. And so when I think that, I'll suggest other artists to them. So it's good to know where you could say your product, or where who you are starts and stops, so you know who to actually recommend to fill those gaps in between. This is a good place to be. Because you are not the be-all end artist. You're not the only human on the face of this planet. And actually, depending on someone's needs, they may have found you and been inspired by you, but whose they need is someone very different from you. So, be prepared. Be prepared to set clients free. And understand that it's not only better for the client, but it's also better for you. Pink agrees. This is good. This is good. go. Lindo. There's an echo. There's an echo? There is an echo? Is there? Make a little look-see here. Is there an echo? There shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Nothing else is plugged in through it. This gun sword here. There we go. You have to mute either one of the cameras. Heather, there's only one camera and one sound input. I think maybe you could have two outputs. Dare I say it? Perchance, perchance. Or maybe close the live and come back into it. But I think on this end it's okay. There we go. So now you can see all those blues have come in, how they've actually shaped the work a little bit. They've toned back those intense warm colours, and that's okay. But we've actually accentuated balance in the picture between the colours. So when you look at it, you've definitely got your reds, you've definitely got your blues, you've definitely got your yellows. So the the primary colours in the picture are powerful. They're very equal. Now, in the next few layers we go through, we'll not tone back the blues, but not be afraid to cover them up in favour of adding in the warm colours. Our vermilions, our tans, and our Naples yellows, and all sorts of different colour and hue combinations. We'll keep adding to the sky a little bit, but Naples yellow is going to be a big player in that sky. Big player. Skies aren't just blue, guys. Don't just do that. You're off. Drop your message on Insta. Good weekend, Cape Town. Thank you. Have a good weekend too. I will catch you later. And thanks, Robson. All right. Looking the same. All right. Where are we at? Do 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 do. La da 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 do. We might go, I'm going to get these Naples yellows through the sky and then some touches on the tops of these hills. In fact, a little bit of Naples yellow everywhere the more I look at it. And then, hello, welcome from Ireland. And then probably to about 1:15, so another 18 minutes, and then I'm going to dash. You got me for 18 more minutes. 18 minutes before I need to run off and do some errands with a Saturday. That's the plan. Things are this way, you tend to stay. Are you Australian? No. I am Kiwi. Close enough though. Close enough. Time does fly, Pink. That's when you know you're in the right space of the painting as well. When the time gets dilated. So when you're painting, then all of a sudden it's later. This means you're in the right space for the painting. It also does mean you could get dangerously close to overworking a painting if you run that risk every now and again. What's your best advice for people wanting to start painting? Jeepers. I would say just have fun. Treat painting like singing in the shower. You're allowed to do it. It's like, you wouldn't be embarrassed for anyone to know that you sing in the shower, but you would be embarrassed for anyone to know that you own a little painting set, in some cases. Like, if someone saw your table set up with paint on it, yeah, cheers Ryan. if someone saw your little painting studio set up on a table, that'd be more embarrassing than hearing it you sing in the shower. So, maybe. I used to rent a studio. I've got a few studios. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to tack on to a few places. Because my studio is very mobile. I keep my supplies very tight. And because of that, I'm able to easily move from location to location without much difficulty. Funny, it's a Saturday 11 a.m. there, and it's Friday 1 p.m. in Hawaii. Yeah. This is the 1 p.m. on Friday. Yeah. This is the thing. Ooh, there's that gun. There we go. This painting's not available, actually. This painting has a home. But depending on the size, where you live, there's a whole bunch of factors that come into it. But for commissions, you can find them out on the link in my bio. We needs now. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Do you start with dark colours first? You start however you feel. Whatever you do, don't start with a blueprint. Have an intention. Intentions are good, but don't start with a plan. We're taught so much in life today to have a plan, 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 have a plan. Follow the plan, follow the plan, follow the plan. Art's not like that. The more you have a plan, the more you'll turn the artwork you're making into a craft. Don't have a plan. Have a pure intention that you continue forward with. And from that intention, but then you could end up with anything. Not once you start to get to know yourself. Once you know yourself, you know the intentions you use to make what you make. In this case here, I want to capture the wilderness of the West, but also depict the father and son combination. Sharma, I thought you left earlier. Absolute pleasure to still have you here. You're sneaking away. I'm here for 12 more minutes, but good to have you, Sharma. Catch you later. One question, the paint's down on your shirt, how do you remove it? Well, you can soak it in different stuff. If it's oils, it's a little bit tougher. But in this case here, I'm probably stuck with it, I'd say. Key thing though, try not to get paint on your shirts in the first place. And if you do get paint on them, don't feel too bad about it, because they should be op-shop shirts. Blues on this, yeah, blues are playing a massive role. But now we need to bring back those warmer shades. Sorry to answer that question before about the darker colours. Start with light if you feel like it, start with dark if you feel like it. Swap it up on yourself. Use black gesso, clear gesso, white gesso, and keep changing them so you don't get caught in a dogma of thinking you have to start on white, that you have to start on black, that you have to start on clear. Keep mixing it up. Invite the chaos into your work. Gesso is like a primer. It means that the paint won't soak into the surface and become more tacky and bland. It'll actually sit on top of the gesso and keep its luster. That's what you want. That's why the colours pop off the page, because they're not sinking into wood, losing their intensity. Regardless of whatever surface you're painting, it's important to gesso it. Gessoing is very good for the painting. I'm an art teacher and never heard of that. You're all good, Lauren. It's called different names in a bunch of places. Sometimes they'll call it a primer coat, or like it'll be called acrylic undercoat, or yeah, depending. Sometimes as well, they'll say that the canvases you're buying come pre-coated with 3 layers of gesso. The only problem with those 3 layers of gesso, and you might find when you first add paint to the canvas, is that it doesn't have that vibrancy to it because they've been sprayed on and it's actually not intense enough. So if you buy canvases regardless, I'd still coat it in gesso yourself so you know at a base level what you're working to. Don't just trust that some random factory that made the canvas gave it enough gesso for you to work with. If you're going to get in front of a canvas, ready to be creative, ready to do your thing, don't let the fact that it didn't get enough gesso on it stop your colours from popping. But you don't need it all the time. If you're going to apply multiple layers of paint, then the first layers will come out dull because they'll soak into the gesso, soak into the board or the canvas. But then the additional layers that land on top of the paint, they'll keep their saturation. So, there's really no hard and fast rules. Paint, you use whatever you feel like, but do me one favour, always grab archival quality at a bare minimum. Because if you grab archival quality, even if you never sell your paintings on the world stage, that means it won't deteriorate for your kids and your grandkids that might want to keep their painting from their great granddad, or your friends who might just love it because you made it. Archival quality means it won't fade over time. You have the ability to archive it, basically. Is there an art college in Oz? Of course there is. And there is in New Zealand. They're all over the show. All over. There we go. Now, if you gotta lay it down. Dun 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 dun. Cornish pasties in New Zealand. I don't know what a Cornish pasty is, but bada bing. Yeah, so sorry to answer that question. Anything that's archival is good enough. That's all you want to care about. Is it archival quality? Is it non-yellowing? Famous or not famous, your artwork will withstand a test of time. And that's what matters. Because I've got some work by some old paintings by family members in the past, and they've survived because the paint quality was good enough. It's quite cool. They weren't artists, but they just made a painting here and there. And I love the fact they use quality paints to do it. There we go. Lauren, you got 2 options. You can put down a drop cloth to protect the ground, or you can steamroll ahead and have confidence that you won't spill anything. I can't tell you which one's the best option. Sometimes I know it's best for me to not put down anything, because that allows me to actually realise I'm not allowed to make mistakes. I'm in an aggressive, wild mood, and if I put down a drop cloth, I'll just cover it in mess. So to control myself, I'll put down nothing, paint on carpet. And then other times I'll be like, right, you need to loosen up. So I'll put down a drop cloth and make a proper mess. Either way is fine. Just around these edges now. Just around these edges. These are the colours we're using. That's the mess of colours. There we go. Lol, gotcha. Yeah, mixture. Alright guys. If I keep at, there's a little bit more to go there, sorry. Hold on. Just finish off with the last little blips of this colour. There we go. Thanks, Jay Smith. Appreciate you. Thanks, Pink, and thanks, Nova. Alright, guys. We're going to wrap up there. 4 minutes early, but that's alright. We could pull out another colour, but if we did that, we need another 20 or so. So time flies. That's the end of the soft Joanne, brilliant mixing the red colours we needed. How's the doggo? Martin, doggo's good. He might be coming up here today to go for a walk on the beach, and if so, I will post all about it because it's been a long time since I've seen a doggo. The red and blue are fun. Don't get so caught up in painting thinking you need to use the complex colours. Sometimes the simplicity of red and blue is all the power you need. Yeah, and they can really punch up a canvas. Yeah, but anyway, softening through there with the Naples, softening through there with the Joannes, the salmony colours, still with the red tints, and then we need more of those tans and those browns and those vermilions to pull that last little bit of warmth out of it. And in the sky, pastels, 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 pastels with Naples. We'll get there. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining today. You're all a bunch of legends. Thank you so much, and wherever you are in the world, whether it's 1 PM in Hawaii or whether it's the middle of the night in Nashville, I'm not quite sure. I hope you have an amazing time. I am off to do some errands, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, what's the white bit on the side? Ah, extra. Yeah, extra space. If there's extra space, I'll just mention this. When I do the brush strokes, I can continue off into the space, and with a canvas usually, with the edges on it, you sort of stop and scoop a little bit. And so with a landscape, it's nicer to have extra space on the sides, so the brush strokes can continue off the space, so when you cut it to size, it actually doesn't have that awkward, oh god, there's the border part. Okay, that's enough on that though. 6 PM in Nashville, alright. Go out to town and enjoy some wild buck hunter, you absolute champion. Bye guys.